Friends, Kahal Kadosh, I am sure you're all looking forward very much for tomorrow evening to eat the matzah, the haroset, and all the other beautiful delicacies off the Seder table. But I think for the vast majority of us, this year, we won't be having much Seder at the Seder table. Because the word Seder in Hebrew means order, predictability, certainty. And this year, we're not going to be having much of that. Things are very different. We won't be sharing the Seder with the same people that we used to year in, year out. We may not have everything that we need for the Seder. We're not going to have that same Seder at the Seder table. And people are asking, what's happening? Where are we going with this? What's the plan? Why is this all happening to us? So let me share with you one of the most beautiful highlights of human experience. When a woman gives birth to a child, this is the most happiest time for a couple. But if you are walking past the labour ward, not knowing that within this room a woman's giving birth to a child, and you were to hear the screams, the shouts, the groans, you would think that someone in there is about to die. Someone's being tortured there. But no, the people outside are laughing. They're excited because they know from these pains and these cries and these shouts, it's going to emerge new life, new creativity. And Pesach is the same. If you look at the beginning of the book of Shemot, the first chapter, things seem so gloomy. The people are complaining. The people are turning to Moshe and saying, "Why have you raised our spirits?" They cry out to God, and things seem to be full of despair. But we know, from this iron crucible, from these difficult times, a new nation was born, who went on to experience the divine revelation at Har Sinai and to forge a new connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Perhaps the starkest example of this in recent history is the creation of the State of Israel, just 3 years after the Holocaust. Who would have imagined that after 1/3 of our population was decimated, that 3 years later we would come back home to Eretz Israel? And that for me is the message of Pesach during these uncertain times. Yes, things are difficult. Things aren't going keseder. They're not in the natural order that we expect things. And we don't like it when things change. But we must know that from these difficult times will emerge new hope, a new era for each and every one of us, for our communities, for all of Am Yisrael, and ultimately for all of humanity. Because that's what life is about. When you plant a seed, it rots first, but then sprouts out a beautiful plant. And that's what we're going through now. We're going through a difficult time when the seed's been planted, but we are waiting for the blossoms to emerge, for a new life, a new era for all of us and all of humanity. And so I want to wish you all Chag Sameach. For those who are ill or have loved ones who are ill, I wish you all a refuah shelema, a speedy recovery. For those who are bereaved or have loved ones who are bereaved, may God give you nehama, consolation, and may you not see any more sorrow again in your lives. And for those working on the front line, in whatever capacity they are doing so, may HaKadosh Baruch Hu give you the koach, the strength and the ability to continue to do the amazing things that you are doing. And we pray that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will put in the mind of the scientists and all the wise people the ability to find a vaccine, to find a cure for this deadly virus. And that next year, when we sit around the Seder table and we say L'Shana Haba'ah B'Yerushalayim, we will be in Yerushalayim. And at the very least, if we won't be in Yerushalayim, we'll at least be in our synagogues. Wishing you all Chag Sameach Tizku L'Shanim Rabot.
I wanted to add my personal message to you all, but especially to the women of our community. We are told that we were redeemed from Egypt in the merit of the Jewish woman. Amongst the bitter slavery darkness, and difficult times, when everyone had given up hope, it was the women who kept up the spirits of their husbands, because they saw the redemption in front of their eyes, when everyone else only saw the darkness. They hoped and envisioned the end of the slavery. It was because of their faith, anticipation, strength, that they merited the redemption. We know that only 20% of the Jewish people merited to be redeemed and left Egypt, as the others had given up hope of ever being redeemed. These 20% were able to blindly follow God and his commandment out of slavery. We are all the descendants of those who were redeemed. This year is different to all other years, as we are being asked to have hope and courage in a new way. I know that many of you are setting a Seder table for one this year. Many of you will be leading the Seder for the first time. Many of you are separated from your loved ones. As we usher in the Chag and light the Yom Tov candles this evening, I pray that you may all have that inner courage and hope that our own ancestors, especially the women, had many years ago, which led them to the redemption, and please God will lead us from our own difficult and uncertain times to the redemption too. Wishing you a beautiful, meaningful and healthy Chag. We miss you so much. Chag
Sameach, everyone. This is what I created out of Lego. And here's the Jewish people going through, and both sides of the water went up so they could go through. And just like our ancestors went through the water, the splitting of the sea, us too could go through this difficult time, and we could manage, and we could go to the other side.
Chag Sameach. I hope you're all well and you have a good Pesach. We miss you lots.
Bye.